Thank you, thank you. Welcome back to the JoSpyda Show. I'm your host, JoSpyda, and I do represent that fresh. Yeah. Next we have our next guest, which is a good friend of mine. He actually was one of my mentors when I first came to college and got me involved in Men of Honor and just interact with people. He just kind of let me know, man, it's cool to be myself and it's cool to represent that fresh. So give it up for Jay Smoove. Yeah. What's happening, man? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. So we're gonna get right into it, man. My man Jay Smoove right here. This dude has traveled all kinds of places and did all kind of things, man. So first off, we just gonna get to where you get Jay Smoove from. Let me know that. That's a question I've been wanting to know.
To be honest with you, man, it started a while back. My first name was Playboy, actually. Playboi. And I put that all over my MySpace, you know what I'm saying?
MySpace.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I got it because the ladies,
MySpace.
MySpace, way back in the day. You know
way
what I'm
back
saying?
in 2 weeks ago. Oh, shit.
Hey, real talk though, man. I got it because, you know, girls. You feel me? I'm not gonna lie. I'm a flirt. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a flirt. I'm a flirt. Hey, you already know it.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So basically, you know, that name was around for a while, and then all of a sudden, I clicked my name up on like Google or something like that, and I was like, man, like everybody's name is Playboy. I'm like, I need to change this right now.
Playboy got played out real fast.
Exactly.
I understand.
That's what I'm saying. So, but people always used to call me Smoove or Suave. I'm like, okay, cool, but there was another Marcus in town, you feel me? So I was like, all right, just call me Jay, and they put it together. Jay Smoove, there you go.
Jay Smoove. How you spell that?
Man, it's JSMOOVE. You know what I'm saying?
O-O-V-E. So don't type in TH like a smoothie. It's
yeah.
Smooth.
Smooth. And the thing is, too, you feel me? Like, people call me JS for short or Smoove for short. I mean, it all works out the same. You get me?
I get you. So, I mean, what got you started in the hip-hop game? I mean, being an MC, what got you started, man? I know my boy Lynguistix got you, helped you out a little bit, too, but,
to be honest with you, man. To be honest with you, man, I was rapping when I was like 12 or 13 years old.
All the little middle school kids. He had all of them, though, for sure.
But the thing is, I started doing it when I was like kind of like just starting high school. Because all my friends or my basketball teammates, I was on the basketball team, they all used to rap in the bus. So I was like, man, I could do that, but I was shy. So I was like, man, I could do that, but I don't want to do it in front of them. So what I did was I got another shy dude, and he liked to rap, so we started rapping together. We formed a group named Lynguistix, and it was GPX for short. And we started. I made you spell
that for me, for my own purposes, not for anybody else.
Man, it was, what was it, man?
Oh no. If you can't spell it, it's all good. We can move on.
What was it? It was GLYPHIX. Yep, Lynguistix.
Yeah, I couldn't have found that out.
Yeah, man. So we made a little mixtape and everything, dude. It was sick, man.
Go check out Lynguistix right now.
We did, but technology wasn't big like that back then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just like we made it on a A-track and everything. You feel me? We put it in the slot. We had people in high school listening to it. They was like, "Oh, that's clean.
Yeah, go ahead."
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it was legit, and so that's when I was like, okay, people started to listen to it. I realized people started listening to it when I heard somebody from junior high saying my song, and I was like, what? And he got it from his older brother that went to school with me or whatever. So it was legit, man. He started telling his friends, and that's how it happened.
Right. Okay. So what type of impact do you think hip hop is making on our youth today? You think it's doing a big, small, positive, negative? What type of impact do you see it going, and why do you feel it's going like that?
Well, it definitely is making a positive and negative impact at the same time. Because for the first time listeners to hip hop, depending on who you listen to, it might be negative or it might be positive. So if you're listening to someone that's always about blah, 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 blah for the first time, obviously that's not very positive, because they're saying, oh, okay, so this is what rap and hip hop is about.
No disrespect to Waka Flocka.
No disrespect
at all.
No disrespect. It's just, that's just one of the negative sides.
Right.
For the positive side, well, you got people that are going to college, like J. Cole, and then becoming a rapper. So he got his education first and became a rapper second, which is cool because he was doing his school thing and rapping at the same time, which is something like what I'm doing, because I'm about to graduate in May.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like, I mean, there's positives and negatives. Like, the kid could listen to J. Cole and be like, oh, wow, he went to school. he got his bachelor's and he still raps. Psh, let me do that. So definitely, there's negatives and positives to rap and hip hop.
So why do you feel like there's always the negative image that's always portrayed to the media, through the media? Why do you feel that is?
Definitely because, I mean, the media in general is
always playing. Then bad news sells.
Yeah, exactly. Bad news sells. The media always is showing us the negative parts of hip hop all the time. They don't. I feel like they don't give J. Cole enough publicity as it is. I'm using J. Cole because I used him in my last example, but they don't give him enough credit. Because I remember even on like watching World Star, man. Shout outs to World Star. But
promo. I should be getting paid right now.
Saying?
World Star. No, just kidding.
But I seen World Star, man. They didn't even know who J. Cole was. Like the people trying to get an interview with him, it's like, you J. Cole, you J. Cole, you J. Cole. All the dudes was light skinned and black, so they just must be J. Cole. But the point is that media, they definitely want Lil Wayne all over the news. Of course, Lil Wayne everywhere. You know what I'm saying? They want Waka Flocka everywhere. They definitely want everybody that's negative everywhere, so that way kids, when they look at them, they say, oh, okay, that's what it's like to be a rapper. Sometimes
that's what it takes to be a rapper.
That's what it takes to be a rapper,
right,
exactly.
Right.
You must be hard, you must be a thug. When I went over there to England, man, for a year with my boy Sticks, we went over there, and I swear, just because we were black and American, they automatically assumed that we either knew somebody famous, we had a gun, we sold drugs or something like that because of the negative stereotype.
They think you brought that all the way over to the country. He was just going to school. I mean, I feel it though. Okay.
So it's a negative stereotype because that's what they see all the way in England.
Right.
Could you imagine?
Right.
It's a trip. That's why I advise everybody to study abroad or travel or do something, because this is not just it. That's it.
Yeah, man, clap it up for that. Clap it up, y'all. I definitely agree. So what do you feel like we have to do as hip hop artists, or you have to do as a hip hop artist and as an MC to create that positive impact? Because I know that a lot of times they don't necessarily portray, you know, Lupe Fiasco as the best individual. They, you know, people like that, or people like, you know, Jay-Z, who's completely changed from being, you know, gangster rapping to being more like, I'm on my presidential business now. So what do you feel like we have to do as artists to be able to make sure that that type of publicity is exposed to the public?
All the artists out there that's doing their thing, just keep doing it. Don't stop. Don't get intimidated by the people that are making money, that are portraying a negative stereotype in the world. Just keep doing your thing, because I know a couple of people, like Darkness said earlier, a couple of people that are portraying a positive image in hip-hop, and they need to keep doing it because they will soon get recognized. And that way, their light will be shed upon other people.
Yeah, and also, I think that they have to take into consideration is why are they doing it really? Are they really doing it for publicity and for fame, or are they really doing it to promote positivity? And as a matter, do you do music for publicity and fame, or is it just something that you just get from doing music, or it's the thrive? It's like a drug. Like what is it?
Man, I do music for fun.
For fun.
I do it for fun. I have never been paid for a show in my life, and I do it for fun. I actually am more so on my school grind than I am in music. I have 2 jobs, man. I'm in organizations. I'm so busy that music is lightweight, last on my mind. But I still do it because I enjoy it. It's kind of like a release from the real world. It lets me kind of express how I want to feel, or how I do feel, actually. It expresses how I feel. It's like poetry, but in a different way because it's to a beat. I love it.
So, with that said, how is it that you compose a song? Like, what is it that you do? So I know some people, they may listen to music, just listen to the same song over and over again. Some people, you know, can only write when they're in a good mood or in the bad mood, or some people lock themselves in a room until they finish writing a verse or a song. So what is it that what's your process that you have to go through in order to, you know, have a song completed or have a verse completed? Like, what is it that you do to you?
Well, definitely I listen to the beat over and over and over again until it hurts. Until it hurts. I'm trying to tell you right now, once the beat keeps going down in your head, it's like, okay, oh, I got it. You start feeling it, and then you just kind of find your voice in that beat somewhere, and that's when I start writing.
I feel it.
That's how it works. I mean, that's how it works for me anyways. I know people that actually just write before they even hear a beat. And I'm like, I don't know how you do that, but I have to hear the beat first.
I definitely agree. I know for me, whenever I'm writing a song, it has to be the beat over and over again, me playing in order for me to just feel it. It's got to be to the point where I know where each drop is in each beat. I know like by heart. You know what I mean? Once you start playing the beat, I'm like, oh, I already know it's verse 2. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I definitely agree. So what advice do you have to people that's trying to get into the hip hop industry? What advice do you seek? Do you want them to seek education first? Do you want them to seek knowledge? Because I think that a lot of times our youth today, they just kind of go straight into music. They don't necessarily look into the origins of where it came from. They don't look to be mentored by older people. They just kind of say, oh, I like rapping. I'm gonna start rapping now, which is okay as well, because if you may not have those outlets, but what advice do you have towards people that are just trying to get started into the hip hop industry?
First thing I gotta say out of 2 things is know your history on hip hop. Know your history, where it came from, and the reason why you're doing it. Another thing I gotta say is be yourself. Don't try to imitate these rappers out there just because they're making money. Don't do that. I mean, if you do that, then you're selling out. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
No diss to Ross.
No diss.
No disrespect.
No disrespect at all. But real, be yourself. Be real. Be legit. I mean, who wants a false imitation of somebody else that's already made it? Right. Nobody.
Right. That just basically a copy.
Exactly. That's like me saying, "Oh, you JoSpyda, I'm gonna be Spyda." You know what I'm saying? That's whack. Yeah. Come on, I'm gonna be myself.
Yeah, because I mean, can't nobody else represent the fresh like me. I mean, that was point blank. Period. I mean, it doesn't make sense. I mean, it's just not gonna work. But I feel you though. So, are you involved in any organizations or on campus? And how difficult is it for you to be a Chico State student but still be a hip hop artist and still try to be professional when you have to be, but at the same time to be able to be that artist that you would like to be, to say what needs to be said?
Yeah, definitely. For the first question, I'm a part of MOH, which stands for Men of Honor. In what? OH. You know it. So definitely that organization, we spread positivity among young minority brothers, majority focusing on African Americans. And the other question was, I'm sorry.
And so like, what was the other question? Who knows the other question? Anybody?
How do you balance?
Yeah, how do you balance your professional? Good. That's Egypt Howard on the sticks. How do you balance that, being professional and still being a hip hop artist, and how difficult is it for you?
Definitely, man. It's a little difficult at times because the way I'm dressed right now is definitely not the way I'm dressed when I go into the office. I have to put on different hats for different occasions. I mean, I don't call it selling out at all. It's just you have to be professional at certain times, and that's all it calls for. I mean, I'm pretty sure you don't dress like this all the time when you go into, you know what I'm saying, if you
most of the time though.
Going out, you feel me? Like, I can't afford dressing up like that. I'm sorry, I'm not
no,
Mr. Fresh, but
right. I completely understand. It's understandable.
But you just wear different hats at different times.
Right.
So that's all I gotta say, really, because I mean, you can't go to a professor and say, "What's up, dog?" If you do that, man, he's gonna kick you out the class, or he's gonna look at you differently.
Right.
That's all it is.
And so how important is it for youth to know that? That to be able to have that? Because a lot of times when people see hip hop artists, they just see, oh, that's how they are, all the time.
Right.
So I got my thugged out all the time. I always got my gun on me. You know what I mean? But they don't really realize that they're just doing that in front of a camera. So how important is it for youth to be able to understand that and see that?
It's very important. It's very important because if the youth don't understand that, then they always believe that what they see on TV is reality. Exactly. And that's not true. Exactly. Because a lot of these rappers that they don't know, but a lot of these rappers, they have wives, they have kids that they support, they have family members that they support. A lot of family members, or a lot of their family members are actually just handicapped and they have to take care of them. So they might have to put on that image just to take care of that family member. Right. So they have that image for a reason. It's because society sees them in that light, and that's the only way they get paid. It's because they have to keep up that image.
Right. So, I mean, do you have any upcoming events or shows that you would like to let people know about, as well as do you have any shout-outs that you would like to give out to?
You know what? Definitely, I would like to shout out my MOH brothers once again. You know what I'm saying? Definitely shout out to Woe. They're definitely doing their thing.
What does WOW stand for?
WOW stands for Women of Excellence.
Okay.
They're definitely a women group on campus for minority women and for diversity of women out there. Let's see. I want to shout out to my job, EOP. You know what I'm saying? Representing. That's how we got here. That's how I'm here. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them.
Right.
Shout out to my students. And definitely for shows. You know what? Me and Sticks might be working on something pretty soon. So you guys will definitely be you should be tuning in.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Well, let's give a round of applause once more time for my boy Smoove. Thanks for coming out, man. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you. So we're actually going to have to take one more break, but I just want you guys to know that hip-hop and the youth is highly important. Those two go together hand in hand because, you know, the youth is our future. And if hip-hop is always constantly taking a negative impact and people only seeing the negativity in hip-hop, then our future is negative. But if we constantly highlight the positive that we have in hip-hop and the positive things that it can bring amongst our community and the positivity that we have, then I feel like our future has hope. That it creates opportunity, it creates, you know, more meaning and more morals, better morals for us to be able to achieve and goals for us to be able to have. So stay tuned. We're going to take one more break before we bring up my boy Lynguistix. So be right back. I represent the Fresh.